Sid will return to the company in 1995, and before he's put with you, he comes in as the new bodyguard for Shawn Michaels in Shawn's feud with Diesel. Just 3 years after walking out on the company, Sid is back, and now he's got even more of a reputation after having nearly deadly dust up with a man you helped to mentor in this business, Arn Anderson. They, of course, overseas. You and I have talked about this before. They were overseas. Some words were exchanged in a hotel bar. A little bit later on, Sid comes up to Arn Anderson's room, looks to attack Arn. Allegedly, somebody grabbed a hold of some scissors. There's some stabbing involved during this altercation, and it's senseless. Two wives nearly lost husbands. Children nearly lost their fathers as a result of a silly fight that started over a disagreement in a bar or whatever. But I say all that to say, the rumor has it he was named Psycho Sid as a result of this altercation with Arn, where I guess they had brought up to Jim Cornette, hey, we're thinking about bringing Sid Vicious in. And Cornette was like, don't bring that guy in. He's a psycho. And next thing you know, he's coming in as Psycho Sid. Did you hold any kind of a grudge against Sid after you heard about what happened between he and Arn?
I never held a grudge. I mean, there was no reason for me to really hold a grudge. But it's like he's not somebody that I wanted to hang around at all.
Right.
And I didn't.
Until you were forced to, which is where we're getting here. Sid was put with you after turning on Shawn Michaels, and now he's touted as your centerpiece for the $1 Million Corporation. And we've touched on it before, Ted, that Vince wanted to put you with him to kind of keep his oars in the water and make sure that he was where he needed to be on time and remained responsible while he was out on the road.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you're approached with this new responsibility of semi-mentoring this guy?
Well, I really wasn't mentoring. More than anything else, I was his babysitter. I mean, really, you just said it, and that's what Vince said to me. He said, I'm putting you with him, and so you can help him keep both his damn oars in the water and not get in trouble. And of course, I'm shaking my head and going, "Oh, okay, Vince, I'll do my best." But when I left, I went, "Shit." I gotta, oh no.
And look, we've said it. His look is unbelievable. His ring skills maybe aren't the best, but his facial expressions and his promos are pretty good. He does a really fantastic job getting himself and his character over.
Yeah.
And Ted, during this time, are you traveling with Sid or trying to coach him up at all? Or what did these new duties from Vince look like?
Well, they will. Well, traveling would be by necessity. In other words, if we flew in somewhere, I mean, everybody flies in on the same plane, gets off, and if you have to rent a car, then you rent a car, things like that, and so but my attitude, I tried to get along with him as best I could, and we never came to any words or anything like that. But it's just like, Arn and I were still great friends. It's kind of like, Arn knows, Arn understood that I'm just doing what I'm being told to do.
Sure, absolutely. And look, it's you don't have any skin in the game, to your point, right? No. You're a manager, so it's like, really, what do you stand to lose by, if you're on the road with Sid and you just watched his match, which obviously you would have, you're his manager, you're right outside the ring, you can get on the road with him afterwards and say like, hey, so you did this in the ring, maybe try doing this next time, so it's like all you're going to do is improve your presentation with this guy.
Yeah.
I know you weren't close, obviously, but would you say that, traveling with him and spending time around him and getting him to the buildings on time and all that stuff, would you say that you and Sid had become friends at all during this period?
I wouldn't say we were ever bosom buddies, but I did my best to get along with him, and there was nothing that ever happened that would, there was no angst. It's kind of like, if he had, I don't know, like wasn't on time, or or did he, what I'm saying? If he started doing crap that he shouldn't be doing, that would equally affect my image. Then there might have been an issue, but ever happened.
Good.
You know,
Well,
I did I'll put it this way. I did a pretty good job of babysitting.
I mean, you're the pro's pro, so as frustrating as I'm sure it was, I think it does kind of make sense on the surface. Like, well, we want to make sure that this guy keeps his shit together, doesn't decide he wants to go play softball or whatever dumb stuff he has in mind. Let's put him with somebody like Ted, who's really responsible and can get him where he needs to go. So, as frustrating as it is, the pairing does kind of make sense.
Yeah.